Hello and welcome to another video of Agent Builder on Google Cloud. In this video, we're going to look at some advanced concepts of BigQuery querying, NLP query on BigQuery using Agent Builder. Now let's look at what we are going to develop today. So we are going to ask a question in a natural language saying that what are the top 5 locations by volume? And this Agent Builder is going to convert that question into a natural language and run this against the BigQuery, and it says the top 5 locations the volume are this and this, right, based on the liters, and it tells you step by step on how these actions are performed. Now let's look at another one. What are the top 5 locations by sales? And if you look at this, it's going to respond the top 5 locations by sales are different. Look at this. This is Ankeny and Waterloo, and you have Devonport here. So there are different based on different query. How is this done? How is this possible? Now let me tell you, the default BigQuery out of the box from Agent Builder only supports Q&A pair. And therefore, we need to create a set of tools and functions in order to support the entire thing. Again, an experience on BigQuery directly using Agent Builder to be able to query in a natural language on data stored in BigQuery. So let's look at the underlying table first. So if I go to BigQuery, the underlying table is this sales table. And if you preview, this is the record. All right, and this is the schema. So no descriptions here, but good enough for a table and the NLP to understand what's going on here. So let's build this. I'm going to show you how you can create this step by step. Now, before we do that, let us understand the concept. The concept goes like this. In the previous video, we discussed about agents. An agent is that tool, that software, that piece of program which has memory, has capability to do reasoning and planning, and can work across systems. That's important. This agent builder is able to work across systems using APIs, databases, functions, and other agents as well, based on the generative AI model. It is able to process natural language using generative AI. Now let's look at how exactly this is solved using Agent Builder. So a user asks the question, and it asks directly on the Agent Builder console. So for example, it can be a Dialogflow, it can be any other front end that is backed by Agent Builder. Now, you create these 3 functions. List table to list the tables in BigQuery, get table to get the information about a table, and then the SQL query, which is going to be generated based on the information on get table. So let's look at these 3 functions over here. You have list, you have get, and you have execute. Now, next on the list is how we're going to do this. We're going to create a tool. So all of these are going to be tools that support Agent Builder. And then you have these tools have a corresponding cloud functions. Let's understand this clearly. You got to write custom code in order to support these steps: list table, get table, and SQL table. So you got to define cloud run functions, or also known as cloud functions. You can do it in Cloud Run application or a VM as well. You have 3 different set of code programs. Number 1 for list tables, number 2 for get table, number 3 for SQL query. In other words, you got to create functions, these 3 API functions, or these three Cloud Run functions that are called via API from the agent builder. So in the agent builder, inside the agent builder, we're going to define these three tools. Let me show you in a second. So if I go to the agent builder here, this was our agent builder. And on the left side, you have tools. You defined these three tools. I'm gonna walk you through how you build it, but I'm explaining the concept at the moment. Next, you're gonna define three Cloud Run functions. So if I go here on the Cloud Run page, you would see that we have defined three functions. Ignore the first two, but get table, list, and SQL. List, get, and run SQL, right? So these functions. And based on the user query, NLP, it is able to call one or the other. Let's look at here. When I asked it 5 locations, this tool already had list and get table, and therefore it just ran the SQL query new. So in here, in the second question, you would see one, and it'll give you all the details. So obviously we are going to see step by step, but these are details. It might look complicated at the moment, but as and we go, you will get a fair understanding of how it works. And then these functions get data from BigQuery. So one more time, this is how we are going to design from right to left. You are going to have a table. I'm going to show you how to create it. Create 3 Cloud Run functions, one each for list, get, and SQL query. Build an agent, define 3 tools, list, get, and SQL query corresponding to these functions. And then agent builder is able to understand the user query. So from right to left, let's build it. Now, also I have done is I have this Git repository, the link to which is in the description section of the video below. And I have this PDF for you, which tells you step by step on how to do this in your environment. For your ease, this file, which says Python code, will get you the details of the Python code that we write for each cloud function. That means the Python code for these three. All right, so everything is there for you. The data is also there. What you're going to do is download sales.csv on your local desktop and go to BigQuery. So step number 1, again, open this PDF. It walks you through the steps, step by step, details on how to set this up. So download the test data. It gets you step by step. So do not worry. Everything is documented. Everything is there. Let's follow the step by step process. Okay. So first step is download the data, which was the CSV file. So let's do that. Go to Generative AI Builder. This is the file that you got to download here. So go and download this file. Step number 2, go to BigQuery and get to your project. For example, this is your project. Say create dataset, because this is the dataset which you're going to use. I'm going to say a_GenAI and region. Make sure you have central one, because we are going to run the bot, the agent in central one, and say create dataset. Oops, project not found. Let me change the project. Sorry, I'm gonna say cancel here, cancel, and I think this project is gone. So I'm gonna create in here. Instead of AA, I'm gonna do AAA. So AAA underscore GenAI underscore GenAI, and I'm gonna say central. Let me increase the size. Okay, so central and say create dataset. As soon as you say create dataset, the dataset is going to be here like this. I already have the data set. You're going to create double A. I'm creating triple A because for me, this data set already exists. Now, I'm going to say create table. And in the create table, you're going to say upload, file type, CSV. So I'm going to upload sales.csv here. The project, the data set, the table name needs to be sales, schema, auto detect, and all of these steps are mentioned in the PDF document. So if you miss any step, refer to the PDF document. In the advanced options, you make the header as header row to skip, and say create table. So as soon as you create table, the table would be created under AAA sales. And if you look at this sales table, make sure that you have data. Next on the list is we are going to create 3 cloud functions. So I'm going to create one, and I'm going to show you how you can create the remainder 2. So let's do that. Go to cloud functions here. So I go to cloud run functions, and how you can search for it. Just search cloud functions, and you will see cloud run functions on the top. Click on create functions, and please note that step by step, again one more time, is available in this PDF, detailed, like how to go step by step. Okay, so if you miss anything, come back to this and take a look at this entire document. So did a function, and then environment cloud run function. So let's do it. So I go to create function, and function name. The name of the function is going to be list. Remember here, list underscore tables. So I'm going to say list underscore tables, and I'll allow unauthenticated. Make sure it is HTTPS, and say next. In the runtime, we are going to use the Python code. So select Python 3.1.2. And in the entry point, you got to make, well, I'll tell you in a second. So what you got to do is, this PDF also has Python code, but sometimes when you copy the Python code from a PDF, it might not be intended correctly. So what I did was I copied the Python code in a text file and made it available for you. So if I copy it from here, most likely the indentation would remain good. So use this for copying the code if you would like, and then paste it here. Now make sure the name of the function is the entry point. Make sure the entry point and the name of the function is here, and the same thing is mentioned in the PDF document as well. Now once you're ready, click on deploy. So please see this function list table. All it does is goes to BigQuery, and or by the way, this is the BigQuery client, and it goes to BigQuery, get table schema. It gets the name of the table and the table schema, as well as this function generates the query. This is all custom. You can go read it. Okay. Next is you're gonna change requirements.txt as well, which is clearly mentioned in this PDF document. If you go to PDF document, as I said, it clearly mentions what all needs to be done. So along with the code, you got to change the step by step. Along with the code, you're going to add the requirements.txt as well. So requirements.txt would need these 3 things. You may not be able to copy it directly from GitHub. So download the PDF file and you can copy it as well. Now, once you are done, click on deploy. And as soon as you click on deploy, the function would be deployed like this. Once deployed, you will get a URL which will be written here. Next on the list, you're going to create 3 functions the same way, one each: list, get, and SQL query. Next, go to the agent. So I go to Vertex AI and click on view all apps, and I'm going to click on only if it opens up. I click on create app and select the agent from the app and name the agent BigQuery agent 2 and select the region central 1. Please make note of this region should be the same as the region you selected for the BigQuery dataset. Remember, the BigQuery dataset, we also had the region selected as central 1. Now, in here, you got to make a bunch of things. First of all, you go to tools and click on create and provide a tool name. Now, this tool name should be the same as the entry function. So the entry function of this was list table new. I'm going to create a tool just as list table new. In this, I'm going to put a description. This description is important because the GenAI model would take this as the context. It says that this tool can be used to get the list of tables, and you can copy paste this. This is available in PDF. Next, in the OpenAI, you're going to select JSON. So let's define the OpenAI schema. You're going to define as JSON. Whoops, I changed it, so I'm not going to save it. Let me go back and come back out. So this is the JSON format, and you're going to update this URL. This URL without the set here. So this is the cloud function URL. Without this list table new, up until list table new, copy this URL and paste it. This URL would be different for your project. Other than that, all is exactly the same. Click on save and then go back and create another tool with get table new. In the get table new, the description would be a little different. And this description is again available for you to consume from the PDF and paste the JSON. Please make sure this URL is changed. So you're going to build 3 tools like this step by step: list table, get table, and SQL query. So 3 tools and 3 cloud functions: get table, list table, SQL. Next, you're going to go back to your agent, and in the BigQuery agent, you are going to put the goal. This is the prompt. This prompt is available again in the PDF. In the instructions, you would say that user questions might be directly related to the data in the BigQuery. Here is by step. Use this tool to get the list of tables. Use this tool to get the table schema. And use this tool to get the query. And this is a generic prompt which you can modify based on your data. And then these 3 things should be selected. As soon as this is selected, click on save and ask the first question. What are my top 5 locations by sales, and what are my top 5 locations by volume? This should work. Now, there are a couple of more things which I wanted to show it to you. If you go to integration here, you would see that if you go to integrations, you would see that there are a lot of methods, different methods of integration available, like Dialogflow, Messenger, Google Chat, Slack. You can connect any of these or you can also create an avatar. Go try it out, right? I mean, these are some good things that are available for you to connect. And in the settings, please note that this is the setting that I have changed. Um, in the settings under Gen AI, I have selected flash, and the temperature, I made sure I put it as 0.4. So temperature 0.4 and flash is what we have selected. Make sense? And then you can do other settings here, but for now, I kept it everything as default. So this is the agent which is ready for you to consume. Again, this is your reference diagram. If you understand this, it will be super easy for you to connect. And the video may not end until I talk about this gentleman, Ajay Gogineni. He is the person who helped me to create this entire solution. Again, thanks to him. And thank you for your time. Thank you for watching.